It's time for the Northwoods Cooking Show. Starring Uncle Roy and Miss Callie, the troublemaking dog.
Hi, and welcome to the Northwoods Cooking Show. I'm your host, Uncle Roy, and my lovely assistant, Miss Callie Ellis. Oh, she's gone. She's MIA, because we're making bread bowl soup today. So as soon as I plug in the machine, she takes off hiding. She don't like the noise, the sharpness of the beeping, whatever, just it scares her. I don't know. She's been scared a lot of times by hard noises, so we have to let Callie Ellie be herself and just, she'll be in the show, I'm sure, when the food's all done. So first of all, we're going to start off with, this is going to be made in our bread machine, so this is going to be very easy to make. And we have our little container here, which we're going to put in all of our ingredients. Now you want to put these in order so that they mix properly in the machine. And we start out with 2 eggs, and these need to be at room temperature. You want them at room temperature because if they're cold, it's going to deactivate your yeast. So you want to make sure all your ingredients are at room temperature. And on top of the 2 eggs, we need 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And you can use any kind of vegetable oil you want, the corn oil, etc. But the vegetable is much nicer and lighter. You don't want to use olive oil, that's a little too greasy. And on top of this, we need a 1/4 cup of honey. Honey is getting very expensive nowadays. Very expensive. But I got this little jar at the dollar store. When I did my honey competition at the state fair, when I first started that a few years ago, they used to give the entries, just for entering, you used to get a big quart jug of honey for free, just for entering. Now they don't even do that because it's so expensive. They won't even give you that. They don't give you anything. And on top of that, now we need 3 tablespoons of powdered milk. Along with 2 teaspoons of the kosher salt. And then we need 2 1/4 cups of the bread flour. Now you want to make sure you use the bread flour in this recipe. All-purpose flour isn't fine enough grain that's not ground up as fine. So you have to use the bread flour because this is what makes the consistency of the dough much nicer when making your bread bowls. The regular all-purpose flour, like I said, is coarser. So when you make your bowl, it's going to be a coarser texture. It'll taste fine, but it's going to be a coarser texture. Well, then your soup's going to drain right through the bottom of your bowl. So you want to make sure you have the bread flour for this. And 2 1/4 cup. Now, we're going to take and just pat this down a little bit. Get that mixture all evenly distributed. And on top of this, we need 1 cup of whole wheat flour. So we're having combinations of flours here, and it's going to give it a nice texture and flavor. These bread rolls are really fun to make. And on top of this, we need 1 cup of the rye flour. Boy, this is really going to be different. We got regular wheat flour, and we've got the regular all-purpose, or the bread flour, which is wheat. We got this I got dark rye here, flour. We got wheat, we got whole wheat, rye, and regular bread flour. And on top of that, we're going to need 3 tablespoons of caraway seeds. Boy, this is going to be a really different type of bread bowl. There's going to be lots of flavors in it, so I'm looking forward to this. And of course, you can use any type of bread dough recipe that you want to use. Just, make sure that you use according to the manufacturer's instructions of your bread machine so that you don't overdo it and put in too much. And then we need a quarter cup of the dried minced onions. Oh, this sounds so good, Callie. Oh. With the variety, it almost sounds like a German, rich, hearty German bread. And then we need 1 packet of yeast on top of that, which is 2½ teaspoons. And you can just distribute that yeast evenly over the top. And that's all our ingredients for our bread bowls. Now this goes into your bread machine, and you just want to tap this down a little bit more. Put that in. Click, click, click. And just put it on your dough cycle. That's all you need to do. You don't need to have it on any certain kind of basics or white or wheat or whatever. Just put it on the dough cycle. And when that's done, then we'll take it out and shape it into our loaves and put into the oven. Now, Callie will be hiding all day until this is done. So we add all our water to the mix, which is a total of 1 cup plus 5 tablespoons. And when you mix this, just check periodically so that mine is square shaped. A lot of bread makers are round. You don't have to worry about it so much with the round ones, but with these rectangular ones, you want to make sure that you get the corners of your dough. The flour is pushed in to the center of your mixing so everything gets mixed together. And we just let that go until the cycle's all done, and then we'll shape it into loaves. This is mixing. This takes like about an hour and a half in the machine altogether. We're going to be making our soup, and we're going to be making a cream of broccoli and cauliflower soup. Now for this, if you haven't seen my episodes before, I'm making my roux, which is very simple to do. It's not hard at all, and a lot of people think it is, but it's not. What we're going to do is melt a ½ a cup of butter. A ½ a cup of butter, as Paula Dean always says. And we just got to take and let that melt. And while this butter is melting, we're going to be needing 2 cups of water for our soup anyway. So what I'm going to do is take my 2 cups of hot water, 2, 4, 6, 8, and I'm putting in 8 cubes of chicken base, bouillon cubes. I prefer using the paste, but I ran out of the bouillon, and I had to get the cubes. I don't like the cubes. And this is why, because you got to dissolve them and it takes time and blah, 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 blah. I'd rather have the paste. You can just scoop it right out of the container, throw it in, boom, and it dissolves real quickly. This just is just another painful step to do. Takes longer. So waiting for this to dissolve, the chicken breast base to dissolve. And we got our ½ a stick of butter. And to this, we're going to be making the roux. We add our flour to this. And we're going to use approximately a ½ a cup of flour. You want to get this roux to be the consistency of like thick cream of wheat. And this is the secret in making your soups, your cream soups and gravies. When making your roux, it's just butter and flour is all. But when you add this flour to your butter, like I said, you want a thick consistency of like cream of wheat. And a lot of people take and make it too dry, and that's where you get your lumps in your gravies. You want a smooth paste, like I said, the consistency of like a thick cream of wheat. And when you get that consistency, that's all you have to do. So I got a nice smooth paste in there. And then I got my hot water with my bouillon base. And we just pour all that right in. And then we mix this up, and this will thicken up. We want to bring this back to a boil. And this will thicken up, and we can thin this out with more water because we have all that base in there for flavor. Now, if you have chicken stock or chicken broth, that works better than, that's what we're doing here with water bouillon, is basically chicken broth. So if you have canned broth, you can put that in, or if you have some chicken stock in your freezer that you saved up, you can put that in instead of water, and that will give you a much richer flavor. You want to stir this up though, because any of your cream soups are going to scorch easily. Now this kettle's great, because I rarely ever scorch anything in this kettle. I just love this kettle. No, they're expensive kettles. So your cookware is important too. Those flimsy aluminum ones, you know, they're nice for the size and stuff, for liquids. But when you're boiling thicker soups and gravies and stuff, and those thin ones, they scorch and burn really easily. So we're just going to let this come back to a boil, and that'll be nice and thick, which it is. And like I said, you can just thin out until you get to the consistency that you want for a creamy soup. What we're going to do now is I need to thin this out, but, oh, here it is. We're going to be adding heavy cream to this. Now this is what's going to give it the creamy texture. And this will give it the nice coloring, because we don't want to have a chicken soup because of all the bouillon. So we're going to be thinning that out with the cream instead. And that was about a quarter cup. I didn't have it. I had some left over from before in another container. This here is a whole cup. That is good. Ooh, very rich. Very rich. And that's just about exactly the consistency I want. But that's going to thicken up, so I want to go just a little bit on the thinner side. So I'm going to add a total of about 1 cup plus 1/4 cup of heavy cream. Then we can turn this down to a simmer because I got the consistency that I want. And we don't need to put in any salt. You can add some pepper if you want to, but I wouldn't put any salt in there because you got your chicken base. And chicken base, your bouillon is pure salt, so you don't put in any more salt. And then what I got here is about 2 cups of broccoli and cauliflower florets. Cut these up a little bit tinier pieces. Because you want to get these into your tablespoon of when you're eating your soup. You want to have great big huge chunks. You want little florets. So these should be cut just a little bit tinier. And what I'm going to do is I want to microwave these for about 3 minutes. And I'll just make them nice and tender enough for me to add to the soup. Put them in raw, they're going to be too hard, and if you put them in totally cooked, then they're going to turn to mush. And you don't want a gray, green, mushy soup. You want to be able to see the coloring of the vegetables without having to be bleeding into your soup. So you want to try to keep these as whole as possible. Let's see, that looks just about right. And microwaving your vegetables, you don't need to add water to it. I discovered that secret of microwaving your vegetables is just like boiling. It's steaming. There's enough moisture in there that you don't need to take and add extra water to it. So I just got the vegetables like that in my microwave bowl. Put on a piece of saran wrap because you want to keep that moisture in. If you don't cover it, then it will dry out and it will get hard. We just pop this in for 3 minutes and we'll have perfect vegetables. Whoa. There we go. So we'll wait for that and then we'll get right back to the soup. Okay, and these are our vegetables. Oh, they came out just perfect, see? These are really nice. It's a nice way of making your vegetables, and you don't lose any vitamins or minerals at all. And steaming them, they escape into the water. And boiling them to death, you lose all your vitamins and minerals. This way you keep everything inside. These are nice and tender without being hard. Now if you over microwave, then they're going to get hard and dried out. And we just put that into our soup. And that's our cream of broccoli and cauliflower soup. Delicious. Now you can take and thin this out if you want a thinner soup, or you can keep it on a thicker side. It all depends on your own preference. You kind of would like to have like a little on the thicker side, like a thicker gravy for your bread bowls. You don't want to use a broth soup in your bread bowls because that liquid's going to pour right through and leak out at the bottom of your bowl. So you always want to have a cream soup, and you want it a little on the thicker side. Ooh, can't wait for the bread bowls. And then these are our bread bowls. Oh, don't these look pretty, Callie Allies? Look, she comes up out of the bed with this food. Oh, she's half asleep. Now when these come out of the oven, make sure you brush them immediately with butter to keep them nice and soft so they don't get too hard. And then we just take and cut off about 1 inch down. Oh, here's the bread. Every time I cut on the cutting board, she's right around the corner. She's right here. Oh, look at her. And then we just take and scoop out the insides. Now with this excess bread, you don't want to throw that out, because this you can use for dipping into your soup. Ooh, it's still hot in there, Callie. Ooh, still hot. Oh, this bread smells so good. Like I said, it's like almost like a German rye bread. You got the rye flour and caraway in there. Oh, it smells so pretty. But it tastes really good, huh, Callie? She loves bread. Yes, she does. You want a sample? Is it pretty? Ooh, yeah. What's that taste like? That is really good. Now, we just take our soup and then we just fill up our bowl. Now I'm just going to put this on a plate with our little bread pieces on the side. And this is our broccoli and cauliflower soup. And you just fill that up, just like that. And you can use any kind of cream soup you want to. Like I said before, don't use a broth or it's going to just seep right through and leak. We used to do this in restaurants all the time. Oh, they were very popular. Isn't that pretty? And that's our bread bowl soup. And that's our bread bowl soup. Isn't that pretty, Callie? Mmm. Look at her. She's looking up. She wants more soup. Yeah, she wants more soup. Ah! Well, Callie Allie, did we have fun today? You finally decided to show up after your long morning naps. Yeah, scared of the machine. That's what she's scared of. But it's all done. And you liked the results, didn't you? Yeah, you're begging for more. Well, let's see who wrote us this week, Callie. And if you have any questions for Callie on baking or canning or cooking, write to us at the Northwest Cooking Show at yahoo.com, and we'll answer your questions as soon as we possibly can. And we might stick them in the mailbox for Callie's treat. Yeah, let's see who wrote us this week, Callie. Yeah. Oh, she's lazy. She didn't get up into position. Look at her. Queen. Oh. Dear Uncle Roy and Miss Callie, I go to school at 7 o'clock and lunch is at 11. How long can I leave my salad out? At room temperature. Signed, Sarah of... Where are you from, Sarah? Bremerton, Washington. Oh, Bremerton. Oh, hi, guys. All my Norwegian friends in Bremerton. Yes, here, let me show you this, a tip here. I wanted to show this to people earlier too, and it makes common sense, but nobody thinks about it until the time. When you go into school nowadays, and people have their lunches at school, when I was a kid, nobody worried about the temperatures at all. My mom packed our lunches in our Superman lunch boxes or our little paper bags, and we brought those to school and we ate them. That was it. Boom. You know, nobody thought about getting poisoning or sick or anything off of it. Well, nowadays things have changed a lot since I was a kid, and they're more health conscious than ever before, especially with all the allergies kids have. Well, now they're really worried about, even on the Food Network, I've noticed that they've had things about informing parents about how to pack their children's lunches, because they don't have refrigerations for all that longer period of time. The simplest way And this, I don't know why anybody hasn't figured this one out. Of course, get a thermos. If you have a cold insulated thermos, it's going to keep fine. Just keep your dressing and your salad separate. Because once you mix the two together, then it's going to start to deteriorate. So you want to eat it right away when you add your dressing. And you notice that too at home when you add your dressing. If you let it sit for a while, it starts to wilt right away. So keep your dressing separate from your salad. And if you have a creamy salad, creamy dressing, this is one trick that I've learned. Take a small Ziploc bag, put in your ice cubes, put in some ice cubes. Zip it lock shut. Then the water ain't gonna drip out. Here's your ice cubes. It's like an ice pack. Then put that inside a larger Ziploc bag. And on top of this, you can put all your lettuce and your veggies right in here. Ziploc that together. And you got the ice cold vegetables and salad, lettuce fixings, everything's in here, right like that. Your dressing, you can put that in a small Ziploc bag. Because a lot of times at home, you don't have individual portions at home. Oh, that one's empty, Kelly. Recyclables. And so what you do at home then, is just take a small Ziploc bag. Pour in they even got smaller ones than this. This is the sandwich size. I've seen them where they got them even like little teeny tiny, it's like half this size in Ziplocs. And you want the Ziploc because that way it's going to seal and your dressing ain't going to pour out. So just pour your dressing in there, seal that up, and then you can just fold this up too and put that in with your dressing, in with your salad fixings. So you got an ice pack in the center. You got your lettuce and vegetables around that to stay cool. You got your dressing, that'll stay cool, and put that in next to the ice packet. Seal that up, boom, and there you go. Lunch to go, and it's chill. And it'll keep your salad fresh and crisp. And then just pull that out and add your dressing onto your salad. You can eat it right out of the bag, but probably bring like a plastic bowl or something, a styrofoam bowl, or a paper bowl or something like that with a plastic fork. It's very simple. I don't know why anybody hasn't thought of that one before. Ain't that right, Kelly? Yeah, real easy. So, from Callie and myself, we want to say, healthy eating, be safe, and spread the sunshine. Say goodbye, Callies. Oh, yeah, say goodbye, yeah. What's going on? She liked that one.
Powder your face with sunshine.